Last time on Animerica Unlimited.
No. There's no story bits, no sketches, just a review. It's just the review, okay? Last time we watched the first 8 episodes of Moribito. You should go watch that video. But that's all it is. You got it? Good.
And now, the story
No.
continues.
There's no story. Jeez. Just roll the opening. Enjoy.
Well, okay.
We begin this time with Suge Knight chatting up Queen Number. Whatever, that joke's old already. She tells him that her son absolutely has to be alive, but then I forget why this is the scene we have to have.
Fine, Suga. If you truly feel the need to repay some sort of debt that you feel you owe me, go out there and find Chagum and document with your own eyes that my son is still alive.
Hey, here's an interesting thought. How about you go to literally anybody else, or, I don't know, everybody else before this fop? Why don't we have a scene of her begging the king, then the soldiers, and then finally Star-Lord here, and he could be the only one to agree?
Instead, this impotent Christian Scientist is her first option, apparently. Are we supposed to assume that no one else in the entire capital gives enough of a shit? She's the queen! Can't she just order them to do it? She had enough power to force Balsa to take Chagum under penalty of death, but not enough to send guards out after him? How the hell does royalty work in this universe?
As your new king, my first decree shall be for everyone in the land to bow down and worship me as God. And anyone who doesn't, they shall be enslaved and forced to work in the diamond mines. Why? Because I'm a tyrant king, of course. I have this authority.
Yes, you do, our Lord and Savior. So shall it be written, so shall it be done.
Now, my second decree is even more important. I declare that there shall be significantly more cheesecake served with every meal. I love cheesecake, and I frankly think we don't get anywhere near enough.
Actually, Your Majesty, you're not in charge of that.
What are you talking about? I'm the king.
Yes, Your Lordship, but Gordon Ramsay is king of the kitchen, and he will not hear any different.
Then off with his head.
I'm sorry, Your Grace. You simply do not have that authority here.
Well, harumph!
Speaking of which, we immediately cut to the riveting scene of King Whoever establishing his new power structure. And by that, I mean that Tweedledum is now prince because the best soldiers in the world have been fooled by backwoods hicks. Next...
Good lord, what is going on with the art in this shot? Jap Gimli here has either achieved liftoff or is secretly a 2001 monolith in a very poor disguise. He completely dominates the shot. I can't hear anything else because I'm laughing so hard at his tiny little grape head on top of what looks to be a 12-foot tall body. Come on, anime, can I at least get your B game?
It looks like the sign of the great drought will remain for quite some time.
We're having to do extra work to pick up your slack. Think of your actions. What does it say to those in the lower ranks?
You're all working very hard. But unfortunately, you've overlooked what is truly important.
What's that mean?
Are you trying to insult us?
See, this is what happens when you try to cram exposition into dialogue and can't even handle it a little bit. You can't have someone loudly declare that they're in the lower ranks and then get indignant about being treated like they're in the lower ranks. That'd be like admitting you know nothing about sports and then getting angry at someone for trying to explain a game of hockey to you. You kind of put yourself there, buddy. You literally deplatformed yourself.
Just who does that guy think he is?
Your superior! Asshole!
But just when we start defending Sugar Crisp, he flips out and slaps the shit out of his boss for trying to read through the prince's notes. Actually, hang on, once again, I can't follow what's happening here.
Please don't do this. What you're doing will accomplish nothing.
Hand over those papers at once! They are not yours!
Stop! Please!
I've
You
listened
must
to you enough
listen to me.
already!
Okay, so they shouldn't be allowed to inspect the prince's notes to fulfill their assigned duty and rid the capital of the water demon's curse, but you totally should because,
Because reasons!
I think I actually may have completely lost the plot. The queen asks Suga to prove the prince is alive, then he mouths off to some peons before bitch slapping his boss, and then, before there can be any punishment, he surrenders his own living quarters, and we end the whole sequence with him joining the tables of the peons he outranks. How did point A get us to point B, anime? And why are we here at all?
whatever, skip.
I hear detailed accounts of your highness's accomplishment.
Whatever, skip.
He remembered that the diet of these rare birds almost solely consists of a type of frog that can leap incredibly high. So the two of us threw in the air nearly every stone we could find.
Wow, you were both massive assholes. Skip.
So you sent them to my quarters to protect his belongings.
Okay, enough. I've got a headache now. I have so much to say about all this bullshit, but it's swirling around in my head because none of it makes any damn sense.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start.
Well, alright, let me try. This is the stupid slave scene all over again. We're supposed to believe that Shuga and Zagum are very close because they've known each other for years and years, but Shuga also couldn't fathom the possibility that Zagum might do the right thing or actually care about his brother's death. Not only is that dumb, but there's no way that we can possibly be surprised by this because we don't know Zagum at all. We have no idea if he'd do a good thing or a bad thing, so when this reveal comes off, we can't really care because we couldn't make a judgment call in the first place. Furthermore, we're talking about fucking papers. We're not talking about his clothes or anything that had personal meaning that his brother should probably have respect for. Since we have no bearing on this guy's character, you need to serve us with some kind of object that we would immediately assume significance for, like, I don't know, all his personal effects? What if Shuga walked in on the universal douches cleaning out his entire room to burn all of his belongings instead of just perusing his fucking schoolwork? We'd immediately think, man, this prince is an asshole. How can he fall in lockstep with the king on this bullshit? And we'd be appropriately pissed off. Then, when we find out that he was actually doing this as a smokescreen to preserve the last mementos of his brother, we'd find out that yes, he's a good guy, and we would have at least a little reason to care. But who on planet Earth is going to give any fucks whatsoever about notes?
But then, this scene loses all significance because even though Shuga was just willing to assault his own boss over this crap, he decides, meh, I'm over it, and leaves them with the prince. That's it. Wow.
Chagoon tries to make friends, but sucks at it. We get the most thrilling montage of Shuga collecting soil samples before he runs into Tonda stealing crops, which leads to more irrelevant bullshit. Yes, please handle all this private property without permission. Cunt.
I was doing research on something that may happen in the future. I was trying to determine whether or not there will be a change in the water levels.
Look, it's a mantis egg.
Interesting.
It's said that when eggs are laid close to the ground like this one is, there will be hardly any snow that winter.
The truth is, the reason I'm here is because I was worried that there might be a shortage of water soon. I'm still bothered by the fact that the fish in this river seem incredibly large and fat.
Animals gorge on food to fatten themselves up before they hibernate for the winter, right?
Yes.
Maybe what we're seeing is something like that.
Moribito, guardian of the mundane meteorology.
I am so on the edge of my seat that I'm now asleep on the floor.
I have no choice. I must start the investigation over from the very beginning.
Great! It looks like the show is starting all over again. Well, I guess I will go ahead and load up disc 1. The show must go on. Actually, we're being a little unfair about the end of this episode, but that's only because it waits until the very end to make any kind of sense. Remember how the Queen asked him to make sure her son was alive? Well, rather than set out on a quest we might get invested in, or maybe do some metaphorical digging for information to find out more about Balsa and where she is, he decides to literally dig for soil samples and measure water levels. Because you see, their astrology tower predicted that the water demon would cause a drought. Therefore, if the signs of the drought are still present, then the prince must be alive. Yes, I'm serious. I'm not making this up. This is the show you're watching. It takes every opportunity to make itself as stupid as possible. Still dead? Good thing I got that tarp down so fast. Let's move on, shall we?
What I think doesn't matter.
Wow, that was quick. Never seen a character kill a show so quickly.
Huh.
What the hell, Will? You were dead!
Yeah, I definitely was, but luckily I know this herbologist who did some higgledy-piggledy, flim-flammy, stuff, and now I can just decide to not be dead anymore and finish the review.
Oh. Good.
Wait, are you mad that I'm not still dead?
No! A little.
Well, fuck you too, then. Anyway, where were we? The title card for this episode informs us that it's called Soil and Heroes. I immediately want to turn it off.
It looks to me like he's doing a pretty good job trying to fit in.
Well, that's just because Chagum's not shy, and he's not a coward either.
As much as I want to disagree with this and show a montage contradicting it, I can't. Chagum has risen to the challenges facing him rather well, considering the circumstances, and is actually developing into a not completely worthless character. So instead, I'm gonna bitch about the dialogue again.
He's too clever for his own good. And given how he was raised, he's used to being isolated. If he was feeling lonely, I doubt he'd complain about it. Still, he's gotta learn to loosen up a bit. He'll never be comfortable in this city if he doesn't make some serious changes.
Moribito, guardian of the painfully obvious.
Thank you, Balsa Wood, for telling us, your child audience, every single one of Chagum's character traits and then spoiling everything he'll do in this episode. We could probably just skip to the credits now and assume that happened, because guess what? It's exactly what happens! Couldn't we just have character development occur in front of our eyes? We don't need a warning for the writing to come!
What the hell? Again?
Alright, I'll fix it.
There's that Will. He's an asshole and he hates children, but he's really not taking to this Moribito too well. If he wants to keep any of that sweet, sweet Patreon money, he's gonna have to review this entire anime to completion.
Alright then. What are you doing?
Nothing. Doesn't matter at all.
Oh, okay.
Well, if that is indeed the case, then I guess the real issue here is whether or not Toya will be a good teacher.
Why is that the real issue? Why isn't the real issue fighting the bad guys? Defending Chagum from the bad guys? Trying to rid him of the water demon? Maybe saving the world from eternal drought? I don't give a single speck of shit about whether or not some bucktooth doofus is going to be a good example for Chagum or not. Oh yeah, he's the teacher. Good luck with that.
Balsa, hey, there she is!
Hurry, kill her while she's unarmed!
Balsa apologizes for seizing Bill Boy's hut earlier, and you can tell she's sincere about it because she immediately asks for another favor. Man, this bitch.
Here's the job. I want you to teach this guy here
how to fuck.
Dude, he's a little kid!
No, seriously. Just pretend that's what she said. It makes the scene so much better.
It'll be okay. I'll keep an eye on you two from a distance.
Well, if you'll be around, sure. I'm trying to figure out how we should do this. If anyone asks, we're gonna tell them that you're my little brother, okay? That way, if someone starts getting suspicious, we don't gotta come up with any lame excuses. So from now on, you're just gonna call me Big Bro.
Okay, we have to stop. I can't take anymore.
Ooh boy. Anyway, today's lesson from Woodchuck Willie is how to swindle small business owners out of their hard-earned meager livings. Heroes!
What'll it be?
Just one bag, please.
That'll be 40 Han.
There's a stand down there selling them for 30.
Really? Would you tell me where it is?
Yeah, it's just down around the corner.
Hey, hold on a second. Just try one of these. You'll see they're really worth the extra money.
No, I think I'll go with the cheaper ones.
Hey, no, come back here. 30 Han it is, then.
Let's see here. Lying, fraud, conning, pretty much everything impressionable child Chagum needs to know in order to be a commoner. Am I meant to side with the ultra-rich, self-appointed monarchy? Because I kind of side with the ultra-rich, self-appointed monarchy.
Having taught us the importance of deceit and underhanded trickery, the remainder of this episode is How Much Wood Could a Woodchuck Chuck? And Chagum decrying the villainy of deceit and underhanded trickery. I shit you not.
The two come upon a betting game, and Chagum, sudden convenient Sherlock genius of observation, almost immediately discerns that the game is rigged. Oh, but you see, this is wrong because they're taking money that people are willfully choosing to bet on their game instead of lying to someone in order to prevent them from earning that money in the first place. I shit you not.
We can't be the only ones who are seeing this, right?
Well, apparently we are, because I didn't even notice until I was writing the script.
Wait, what?
Oh my god, is this show getting entertaining?
Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. Has nothing to do with anything else in the show, but
it's great!
But it's interesting.
It's like great in a Cowboy Bebop way, where it's like you said, this has absolutely nothing to do with anything, but it's still really interesting and cool.
Wow. I guess we're just whores for entertainment.
Yup.
Look at what you've done to us, Moribito. Look at what you've made us become!
Yup. Let me put this into clear focus. I think the show is trying to present the importance of haggling here at the outset. The problem, of course, is how they do it. These two are friends, but they execute a false scenario in order to con this store owner out of making how much money he should. Cut to the gambling game. These three guys say this is a fair game that anyone can win. However, they are executing a false scenario in order to trick these people into giving away the money they've earned. The real issue here
is...
Shut the fuck up, Tonda, you're out of your element. The real issue is this. Every single person at this table has a choice to make for each round of betting. Not how much to bet, but whether or not to play the game at all. Each and every one of these people here are choosing to play the game, over and over and over again. Yes, the game is rigged. Yes, they are probably more inclined to play because they believe they have a fair chance of winning their money back. But every bet is still their choice. You can't fault these guys because a bunch of peasants are irresponsible with their money. That's their fault.
Conversely, Chagum and Buck Wild put this poor store owner in a big bind. Either lower his prices and take a hit on the profits that allow him to put food on the table, or make no money at all. Yes, it is still his choice whether or not to do that, but let's compare the choices being made here. The store owner is being forced to decide between eating less for dinner or eating barely anything, while the people playing the game are freely deciding their own fates. So, you tell me which is worse.
Ultimately, Chagum, the giant hippogriff, faces Weirdbeard in a winner-takes-all showdown to prove once and for all that the game is a sham and win Buck Cherry's money back, which, again, he wasted irresponsibly of his own free will.
Hooray! No consequences for our poor life choices!
Yeah, let's go get fucking hammered and waste it all again.
We've learned nothing today.
You know, the sad thing is, this seemed like a pretty good episode. But the only thing you have to do to uncover the problems is dig just an inch beneath the surface and think about it just a little bit.
Yep.
You're gonna say it, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Alright, let's get this over with.
Even when this show succeeds, it still fails.
It doesn't matter how much money I have. Without her around, it doesn't mean anything.
What? No! That's 3 great Zigzablue! It's worth 10,000 Wonder Slams!
We will find out far too many minutes down the line that this money was actually a pittance for Chuck Testa here to let some douche wheel marry girl. But for now, we thought it was the money he won back in the last episode and immediately hated him because that's the only context we have. Good work, Moribito. You've failed us yet again. Storytelling!
Anyway, girl got drunk one night and died or something. Anyway, Tonda has a different take.
She didn't have a fever, but she did look like she was asleep. So I assumed the flower wine had gone to her head and put her to bed. It didn't seem serious to me at all.
Flower wine? I examined her, and this may sound odd, but it seems to me this girl's soul has left her body. It's not that unusual for someone's soul to leave their body as a result of some kind of shock. And if your soul does leave your body, it tends to hurry straight back. And that's when you wake up.
This is it, huh? This is the place Tonda rented for the two of them.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
Meanwhile, Uncle Buck mopes. Where is all this coming from, you might wonder? How long is this after the last episode? Well, who fucking knows? You want to know what set this up? You want to see the entire lead-in for this episode and everything you're seeing right now? You want to see every single word that led into this? Okay, well here you go.
What's Saya up to? Is she okay?
Yeah, of course. She's good at anything she puts her mind to. She can fit in anywhere. In fact, she's so good at everything and she works so hard that the people in the village started making marriage offers to her.
That's it. No, literally. We had that one line and now Beaver Tits is depressed because out of blue fucking nowhere, Girl is not only betrothed, but also had plenty of time to lose her soul in the interim. You know, for a show that loves taking its sweet time with everything, they sure managed to blitz through this.
Finally, we get the lead in for all this nonsense where Girl's mother tells the beeve to skedaddle because a real man's in town. I significantly disagree with that conclusion, but the point is that he's now garbage surfing because he's lost his, best friend? Sister? Love interest? Man, it's a good thing their relationship is so well defined.
Yes, this boy's father sells rice to our village and has been very good to us.
So now he's going to marry this homeless girl. That's point A to point B, right? I'm gonna level with you. I'm very drunk.
Several hours of hypothetical babbling later, my god, this show moves slower than a snail through molasses. Tanda and Bolsa argue about whether or not to do anything. Yes, more arguing. Sorry, I don't think we've properly demonstrated how fucking boring this is yet. Anyway, Tanda gets really, really high and trips some serious balls. Or ends up in the spirit realm. Your choice.
She told me if I didn't agree to this marriage, then Toya would eventually be punished for it.
Well, don't worry about that. Toya hasn't done anything that he could be punished for.
Unfortunately, they killed him before we figured that out. Also, we're both dead. This is the spirit realm.
Saya suddenly back in Body B. Oh crap, hang on, I read that wrong. Girl suddenly back in Body B. Just cuz. Also just cuz, Tanda is now stuck in the spirit realm. Isn't it great when your rules completely contradict themselves within mere seconds?
This is so embarrassing. I don't have any idea how to go back.
What? That's like showing up to put out a fire with no water. How can you possibly be this stupid? Oh, he just had to eat a flower. You know, something is telling me this is just really, really stupid and I should stop thinking about it.
Yup. Anyway, the spirit world is breathtakingly beautiful. Good thing we'll be spending no time here. Tanda is totally okay. Man, what tension. They leave. And... You know, for a show about a master spear wielder, you'd think she'd actually use her spear at some point.
What spear?
So the next episode... God, I can't do this.
It's okay, Will. It's gonna be fine. We gotta do this for the patrons.
No, okay? How many times can you see the same episode in a million different shows because everyone's out of ideas? You want to know what happens here? Fine. Good. Because you've already seen it in every cartoon you ever watched growing up. Again. Babbies. Enter the cocky, douchey bully archetype who thinks he's better and stronger than everyone. Chagum, the obviously outmatched underdog, challenges him to a fight. Everybody tells him he's insane, but he goes the distance with Apollo Creed and... wait, no, that's wrong. Chagum faces the shitlord with his superior cleverness. He beats Robin Hood, even at 2,000 years old. Shit, no, I fucked it up again. His opponent is all beef and no brains, so all he has to do is get out of the way when he charges and then do that 200 more times. Like, God damn it! Anyway, the kid goes sailing out of the ring and loses. Because of course he does. He then acts like a little bitch and refuses to hold up his end of the bargain, as usual, until his father comes along and teaches him the lesson of what it means to be a real man.
There was no deal. Don't make false accusations.
Wait. No.
Perhaps it's best if the parents settle this themselves. The winner decides whose child is right.
Oh, fuck off! I'm so sorry, everyone. They actually found a way to make it worse.
It's okay, buddy. All right. Also, everyone's gonna think that we're gay now.
I know.
Balsa has to fight huge bigmen, but because this is a cartoon and not even 1% comparable to real life, she wins. Sorry, but biology and physics would say otherwise. Any shit, the two finally admit defeat, but the bully is still a little shit and didn't learn anything. I think I'm running out of gas too. So they took one of the oldest stories in the book, one that can't possibly not work for kids, and they somehow fucked it up. Oh my god. Rub my back.
No.
Okay.
I mean, Bolsa actually fought someone. There was a legit fight, but I can't enjoy it because it's so contrived, forced, and unnecessary. Where are the actual villains? Are you telling me that there was so little material to work with in 12 novels that you had to resort to 3 straight filler episodes? And not even good ones? God, am I bored.
Well, if you liked 3 filler episodes, hold on to your butts because we're moving right into a 4th. Chagum is hard at work sweeping the dirt right into the drinking water when random kids from the last episode interrupt him before he can salt the crops. They deliver a letter to Balsa, which has sinister implications.
Are you gonna be all right?
I didn't sense anyone following us.
That's not what I meant. These are some pretty strong words this guy wrote here.
They called you an Islamophobic, gay-stoning Nazi. Can you handle such withering criticism? And what does this mean? Check your privilege. Oh, this guy must mean business.
Okay, so even though this episode is pointless filler, it's actually pretty cool. Almost. Some rage bro shows up, determined to kill Balsa because she didn't kill him. Like I said, almost. When she refuses, he threatens to kill the next traveler on the road, even if it isn't her. So what's a poor plank of soft wood to do?
Absolutely nothing, apparently. Let's see how that works out.
No! What's gotten into you?
What got into you just now? Whatever it was, it's nothing to worry about, okay?
Oh, so not great, huh? Gee, it's almost like when that guy said he would attack the next travelers on the road, he actually meant it. That terrified injured horse is on your head, Balsa. Stupid wooden bitch.
Lord Bloodthirst's next scheme is to poison the water hole? Did he also put a snake in Balsa's boot? Again, almost cool. Anyway, Balsa, the most selfish of bitches, decides to stay with the innocent, defenseless travelers, even though she knows he's trying to kill her and not them, which means she's actually putting them in more danger by being there. Good work, bodyguard. Why not just use them as human shields while you're at it?
You look like you may be from another country.
Yes, that's true.
And what sort of job are you going to do?
I'm just a bodyguard.
You say just a bodyguard, but a warrior's a warrior. Have you heard the Yugoan tale about the warrior who becomes a tiger?
Frosted Flakes and a good breakfast will bring out the tiger in you.
No, and I don't want to. It sounds really stupid.
It's a legend about a warrior who devoted his entire life to training. This particular warrior was so obsessed with gaining power that he began fighting, wearing the skin of a tiger.
Please stop. I don't care.
And one day, he realized that his constant training and obsessing about being as strong as a tiger had actually turned him into one.
Frosted Flakes and a good breakfast will bring out the tiger in you.
Even an untrained eye such as mine can detect the desire to kill emanating from you.
Yes. Look at all that unbridled murderous intent just leaking from every pore. She's practically exploding with violent fury.
JT, are you enjoying this episode?
For various reasons, I'm not sure.
Oh. Well, we should probably continue watching then. Oh, hey. Tiger fell over.
Whoa. Will, calm down. You almost had an emotion. And we all know what happens when you have an emotion. Our robot overlords vaporize you with lasers.
I'm so very disappointed in myself. Can't you tell?
No, but they can.
I guess that's that.
Seriously. At this point, it's like Balsa is actually a board that people are just writing character traits on. None of them make any sense and don't match how she's being portrayed at all. But I guess we're just supposed to take their word for it. What did you say Balsa was thinking again?
Even an untrained eye such as mine can detect the desire to kill emanating from you.
But that's just not true. You're fucking wrong. We already saw Balsa refuse to fight the guy. That tells us she isn't filled with irrational bloodthirst or whatever, because if she was, she would have done something about it right there and then. Then the guy tells her that if she doesn't fight, he'll kill the next person he sees regardless of who it is. Does she lash out at that point and kill him to stop him? No! She waits to see if he means it. But now, with this vacant, empty, vapid face, we're supposed to believe that she is so ready to rip his throat out that she stays in the cabin and has a completely calm, average conversation.
That woman clearly has a thirst for blood.
Fuck off, Moribito. Seriously, fuck off.
A stone shooter and dead rats. And now you're gonna try and keep me from sleeping tonight as well. You're coming after me the exact same way I came after you. And I guess I have no choice but to play along.
I mean, I guess that's true. If you ignore every other possibility in existence. First off, remember her saying that she hunted this guy down for later. It'll make no sense in about 8,000 episodes. Back on topic, you could easily sit on the other side of the tree so that they're not shooting at your face. You could also go back and sleep in the cabin. Speaking of the cabin, how about you go back in, tell those poor people that their lives are in danger and that they should get the fuck out? Or maybe you could get the fuck out? Maybe you could go do the badass thing and confront him right fucking now instead of electing to not sleep for days instead? Unless native Indian dude, not from America, is going to interfere and cheat. That seems pretty unlikely for a guy intent on facing you in one-on-one combat. Why do you insist on being so stupid, Balsa? Why?
The next day, or year, or century, whatever, Balsa and the other two head out. They get tired of her bullshit and she vomits the entire episode's plot so far, ending with this.
For various reasons, I made a promise to myself to never take another person's life.
Yeah, remember that. Anyway, the two finally fight.
I had planned to attack you after trailing you for 3 days and nights without letting you get a single minute of sleep.
I said they fight.
My only choice is to become a tiger.
What are you cutting to this bullshit for? Go back to the fight.
That's it. That's the person I want to kill.
Shut up.
Before we met, I had made a vow to save the same number of lives that I had taken. But by the time I fought you, I'd come to realize that all lives are of equal value.
Jesus Christ. I guess this is what we get from 12 novels. Generic, shitty, shonen fighting. You know, maybe this anime should go back to doing nothing. At least it was good at that.
Oh, and I guess she killed the guy. Wow. Oh, no, wait. He's totally fine. The tension. I can't handle it.
Please, tell her to come back here. She left here thinking she's broken her vow by killing this man, when the truth is he's very much alive.
Moribito, guardian of the painfully obvious.
Please, yes, spell everything out for the babies at home. Just cram in the laziest dialogue possible so you don't actually have to animate facial emotion or make your female lead actor actually give a shit. Right after the brutal murder, For fuck's sake!
And I guess we're just supposed to assume that the kid got through to Balsa, or that she even gives a shit, or that she didn't know in the first place, or that the scene even resolved in a meaningful way at all, because the episode just stops. They're never going to follow up on that, are they?
Nope.
Not even a little? No. Great, so it just doesn't play into anything. It's not foreshadowing, it's not character development for Balsa, it's not anything?
No.
Then why the fuck?
The Nayunga Ro'im is a spirit that spits out clouds in both Nayuk and Sagu to produce water. Ah, I see.
No! Why?
Because it's this shit again and you've got a job to do.
Okay, fine. Just tell me when you're ready.
Okay. This is actually a very well executed scene. It gets the right exposition across through a means that has been previously established, and it doesn't do a bunch of nonsensical dialogue to drag it out. So what ruins it? It's still chock full of this nonsense.
But what's to become of the boy who carries the egg? Yes, the guardian of the spirit.
What did the direction for this scene look like?
Okay, now read through your lines, but do it so that no one has any idea what the hell you're saying. Action.
The boy will most certainly meet a cruel fate. He will be...
No. Cut. You trying to take over my set here? Because if you are, I will fire your ass quicker than you can say Nayunga Ro E.
No. I just thought that I would...
Don't think. Just mumble the lines incoherently so that no one could possibly know what you're saying.
But what will Barbara have
That's it. We're done here. Go back to your trailer.
But
Look! No one reads lines with conviction or emotion on my set. If I tell you to read like you are a drunken sailor with no tongue, you fucking do it!
You know what? You're an idiot. I quit.
Oh. I guess I'll have to cast the entire series all over again from scratch. Why does everyone have to mess with my perfect vision?
Having to take constant elongated breaks where we quite literally can't follow what the hell is happening does not create tension. It does not improve the scene. It does not create an atmosphere. Why not have these cut-rate, not Zoras, speak a fantasy language? Something that sounds legit and not like they're currently in the process of gargling the surrounding lake. What's the point?
Torogaru was not deceived by the demon's words. As soon as he'd drawn the star's heart blade from its sheath, the child transformed into a slippery water demon and attacked. Once dead, they watched as its blue blood flowed into the spring. At that very instant, the heavens were torn asunder, and lightning struck the water.
Wait, could it be?
Hey, I wasn't done yet!
No, shut up! The villains are back! Oh my god! What the fuck?
Balsa happens upon a poop spring, which gives birth to a turd beast. That's certainly something you don't see every day.
Balsa!
Oh my god, it's horrible. Kill it now. Wait, yes, the villains, they're back again. Okay, do something, save us, please. God damn it!
turns out that Grand Mold was just having her daily exfoliating shit bake and got a little carried away. Or something.
What is this awful stench?
It's poop. You were actually wallowing in poop. Man, you're really senile now, aren't you?
Huh? And how did I survive that predicament? Wait a minute, maybe that oil is what it... There are clearly plenty of things in that world I still don't understand.
Thank you for that completely useless information. Anyway, having wasted a solid 30 seconds of time, we cut to a fire spirit randomly sabotaging Granny Goodplop as she tries to record what the crab people told her. For some reason, even though the fire spirit says leave with nothing, it tries to then kill her. What, is she not allowed to take her own clothes with her? You greedy bitch.
Oh my god, Captain Sugarcane is back.
I've been filling those men with the hope that Prince Chagum is still alive.
Fascinating. I guess we'll have to take your word for it, since we've seen 0 seconds of this. The last time we encountered you, you were on a riverbank taking soil samples. Now, all of a sudden, you've been spending the last 3 months or however long reading these tablets. Why? Show us point A, getting to point B. You were told to abandon the tablets. So why did you decide to take them up again? I'm sure it sounds like I'm begging for more of those long, boring talking scenes this fop always has, but all I really want is a little bit of continuity. Is that too much to ask for? Really?
Actually, yes, because we cut back to some shit shack where I guess the group is staying instead of the watermill because... Granny talks about how the spirit world is intertwined with the real world, for all that's gonna matter, before we cut back to the thrilling fire chase.
It looks like I ditched him. Still, I better get my butt out of here. I know it feels like I'm going up, but I don't think the exit is anywhere near here. Is that a river? If I just follow the flow of water, it'll lead me out of here. Sounds to me like the river is right below us.
What is the point of this? You have destroyed the tension of the chase for no reason. All you had to do was have her come to a stop suddenly, look in all directions, then realize she's at a dead end. Then she hears the sound of the river, runs over, puts her head to the ground, and starts digging. We can put fucking 2 and 2 together, anime. We're not stuck in a vegetative state.
I've never seen soil like this before.
Identifying poop. Yup, it's poop.
And welcome to the Poop River. You now have worms. So many worms.
Damn, I'm still not safe.
Oh, come on. First off, why is it even chasing her? Why does it care so much? Doesn't this stupid flame thing have an entire cave to guard from everyone at all times? In fact, for all we can tell, it's actually chasing her further and further into the cave. What's the point?
On top of that, I mean, how do they have such a lack of understanding for basic elements? I know this might come as a surprise to some people, but water puts out fire. It's not a minor inconvenience. Why would they even write something so stupid?
I don't know, but I do know that it gets much dumber later on. So for now, I guess I'm done shitting on it.
Yeah, good one.
What?
What? Back in the turd tunnel, Granny gets stuck between spontaneous combustion and a giant worm. Don't you hate when that happens? And yes, she gets eaten by the worm and then shat out into the poop spring. Did you think we were joking? Because we weren't joking.
It's entirely possible that something who wants to protect the water spirit told me where to find the exit that eventually led me back here. Nayu contains all sorts, just like Sagu does.
I must have missed the giant worm that eats you and dumps you into a shit pit equivalent in this regular world of yours. Could you maybe expand on that? No, of course not.
Because it's still here. Because the sign of the Great Drought still hasn't vanished. I have to believe that the prince is still alive. But why? Why has it taken so long for someone to read this?
I don't know. They certainly haven't done you any good. You're still at the exact same place you were after your dirt quest. Why have you spent so long reading them?
I think the main point here is Shuga has realized that Chagum is possessed by a water spirit and not a water demon finally, but that's kinda lost amidst him not changing his mind at all. Well done, anime!
Finally, Beard McBeardbeard revokes Shuga's library card and leaves him to starve. Well, I hope we get at least 20 episodes of him complaining about a stomach ache. The episode ends. So...
Yes.
What? You don't even know what I was gonna say.
Doesn't matter. I'm tired of saying no.
Oh. Okay then.
But it's probably a no.
We kick off the next episode, titled Unexpected Death, with Prince Tagum Ragum Fagum being informed of his duties as Crown Prince, which I'm sure he's already aware of. So, this is for us, then. Yet again. Great.
Sagu.
Here is your pussy dagger. It can't really cut anything except butter. Now go and get fat.
We cut to Shuga still dying alongside the tablets, where he comes to the conclusion that the drought has nothing to do with whether or not the prince is alive. Even though at the end of the last episode, he said it absolutely had to, no matter what. Maybe this unexpected death is the death of storytelling itself.
I'd like some yamabime. Boy, fetch me some yamabime from those mountains.
Yamabime?
You're kidding. You don't know what a yamabime is?
Well, how many Lugals is it worth? And how many Wonder Slams?
It's a purple fruit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess my question was stupid.
Wait, why are they sending Chagum to do this?
Boy, fetch me some yamabime from those mountains.
You, most important person in the entire world with a water spirit inside you that will determine the fate of this planet. Go risk falling to your death for an extended period of time. It can't possibly fail. For the 10th time, I'm sorry. I was very drunk.
Seriously, this is the worst idea possible.
You can do it by yourself.
Oh my god.
Doesn't anyone notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Something called a Rarunga is going to come here from Nayug.
Is there any chance it could attack him right now?
Which is why I sent him far, far away from anyone that could possibly protect him. Wait, no! Damn it, I was supposed to do the opposite. I'm gonna level with you. I'm still very drunk.
Anyway, Grandma says that the Roonga Zoonga Boonga will attack the prince at the place of celebration during the Hoodly Boodly Doodly, also known as the Spring Equinox. Something like that.
Wait, we have to wait all the way until the Spring Equinox? It's fucking summer! Is that why there's all this filler? They started the series at the wrong season and had to make up time?
Mr. Head Writer, sir, it appears we started the series in spring when it's actually supposed to end in spring. What are we gonna do now?
Well, the tree woman has to get her spear fixed, right? We can get that done around episode 9 or so.
Well, okay. But then what?
The Guardian of the Guardian of the Guardian of the Spirit agrees to rejoin the team in search of the Yaku tribe. Coincidentally, Shuga realizes that they must do the same, but he's still trapped, of course. It's at this point that the show's padding becomes really, really obvious. My axe returns, but he conveniently still has the key on him. Why would he keep it with him? It's not his and he never uses it. It's almost like he only has it so that they can immediately steal it right back from him. But not before 5 more minutes of the episode are wasted on pointless tension-dispersing crap which then leads to this.
Tell me why you entered these chambers.
I don't know what you're referring to.
I assume you realize the consequences of entering here without permission. What a pity. Your personal record has gone without a single blemish for 10 years now.
Okay, first off, why does this matter? I mean, the scene itself. We don't know who this guy is, and we have no connection to him. Second, how does Axebeard know he entered the room at all? There's no evidence whatsoever. He didn't see him do it, and he left no trace. So why does he bother admitting to it? It's the same punishment, so why bother implicitly admitting your guilt? Third, why does he think this guy did it, but not the other oaf as well? Is it so that he can successfully deliver the key and finally move the plot back into motion? Nothing about this scene is right, and it had no reason to even exist in the first place. Oh, I've got it! Filler. Lots and lots and lots of filler.
Sir, won't the viewers catch on?
You ignorant slut! No one intelligent enough is going to watch this show. It's an anime! Those are for little children!
Okay. Then why are you packing in all sorts of heavy politics and dry, logical dissertations? How about more exciting action, more fights? You think this is what kids actually want to see?
Sugar runs outside to see a massive rainstorm caused by a serious sky bowel movement over where I guess the Yaku tribe must be. He's overjoyed because according to the tablets, the prince must still be alive. Yeah, no shit. You would have known this like 60 episodes ago if the general could have gone down into the ditch, but don't worry, we'll get there. In the meantime, Sugar returns to speak with the extra prince.
Are you feeling well today, Your Highness?
I think it's all the work that I have. It keeps me well.
So then, is something else troubling you?
Playing the role of the Crown Prince Sagum has taken its toll. It seems now that it takes all the strength I have to endure it. And it gets harder every single day. What makes matters worse is the fact that I lack a certain crucial quality. The divine gift that allows a person to captivate people's hearts.
For a virtually pointless, rambling, quote-unquote conversation. You want to know what matters here? Because it's not anything either of them actually says, which is a shame, since the scene is over 2 minutes of them blathering with no purpose. The only point of consequence is that the prince is looking really, really tired. That's it.
You know, I actually picked up an anime the other day. My Love Story, have you heard of it? Yeah. I got around to watching it, and it was pretty enjoyable, to be honest. I mean, it was a little fluffy and innocent, like a little too innocent, I guess. Like, it didn't really tackle hard-hitting issues, but I still really enjoyed it.
What would you compare it against, say, Clannad?
I mean, that's a tough comparison to make. Clannad is such a pinnacle. So it's such a landmark in anime. I mean, you're really going to have a hard time ever finding another anime that hits those same topics in the same emotional tone that Clannad did. But My Love Story, I think it was still good for what it was.
Okay. But let me borrow it sometime.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely worth a watch.
Cool.
Oh. Tiger fell over.
Oh. Oh, that too.
Isn't this Lelouch's sound?
No, it goes on her.
It's kind of funny that it fits, right?
Yeah.
That looks nice.
We've wasted your time.
Shuga borrows a horse and knows how to ride it perfectly because he comes from a family of fishermen.
I'll be fine. I come from a family of fishermen.
Yes, and I know how to fly a plane because I come from a family of policemen. What? Anyway, Balsa decides to let Chagum live in ignorance of his future because he's happy, making me like her even less. We cut back to the prince, who is finally just a bit too worn out and decides it's time for a nap.
Sorry, Chagum. Please forgive me.
I think he'll be okay with you taking a break now and again.
Wait. No. No! He's fucking dead?!
An unexpected death is damn right. We haven't seen Zagum doing jack shit, but all of a sudden, he's so worn out from his duties as prince that he just fucking dies? What, did he stop sleeping? Eating? Was there not enough time in the day? This is not foreshadowed, led into, or explained in the slightest. Prince Zagum just dies from overwork. Out of nowhere. What, does the Emperor do nothing and the Prince is meant to do every single last bit of all the work in the Empire? And if the job is so taxing that a young adult can't handle it, and it literally killed him, how was Chagum supposed to do any better? How is anyone supposed to successfully fill this role? Man, the Emperor must really want his kids dead and will use any means necessary to get the job done. This is fucking ridiculous. Talk about first world problems. Sitting in front of a desk with the sun on your face, reading and writing, does you in? I can't even fathom how this is even remotely realistic or possible.
This is just terrible. Terrible writing. And this is the worst thing yet. How much more of this vapid nonsense are we going to need to endure before this gets good?
You think this is going to get good?
The next episode begins with Shuga arriving at the canyon where Balsa and the prince most definitely died that one time.
No! Shut up! It's finally time for me to be angry. This is the bullshit I mentioned way back. Here it fucking is.
The downpour yesterday cleared out the toxic mist, but it'll return soon enough.
Yeah, you hear that? Toxic mist. That is why Colonel Brainmeld couldn't go into the canyon earlier. But that would have been way too hard to tell us then. Writing your show properly is far too much to ask.
But even then, the whole toxic mist thing doesn't make a damn bit of sense. How did Balsa and Chagum escape? Because I bet you're not asking yourself that question now, several episodes later. The wolf leapt out of the canyon with neither of them.
The mist was so toxic that the horse died almost immediately, and Major Mastermind wasn't even allowed to go down there at all because it was apparently so lethal. But Balsa and Chagum either ran far enough through the mist for none of them to see them escape, or hid down there until the men were all gone, again, in the toxic mist. How could they have possibly survived? Were they wearing bandanas? Well, then why couldn't these assholes have done the same thing? You know, you might be able to slip a plot hole this massive past the infants in the crowd, but it's not getting past us. Stop being so lazy!
Speaking of shit, Shuga arrives where the horse was tackled off the cliff, only to be confronted by the ninja lords, who explain the penalties for trying to alleviate the Emperor of his grief and bring his son back home.
I must warn you, if this conviction of yours should prove to be wrong, then you will die in this valley along with this vassal.
Why? Because he read some stone tablets? And they're gonna kill this other guy because he stepped into a room? He didn't even see anything. How are these two actions worthy of the same punishment?
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm sure the reasons are various.
I hate you.
I hate you too.
Good.
Why is he going to be executed if the prince is still dead? That makes no sense. The only reason he was breaking the rules to begin with is because everyone in the palace was a colossal moron and immediately abandoned hope the moment there was a chance the prince was dead. They didn't attempt to recover the body, they didn't continue their pursuit of Balsa, they just decided, fuck it, let the peasants get her, and pouted like bitches. And now, they're threatening to kill the only guy who continued to give a shit and didn't give up hope. Man, you're right. These really are the bad guys. No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're eventually going to join forces with Balsa and Granny Gooddrunk to protect the prince.
But they're assholes.
Yup.
So why should I care?
You shouldn't.
Great. Perfect.
Brain Man goes down into the canyon and discovers that the prince is not dead. No fucking shit.
If only I'd gone down to the valley floor that day.
Yeah, if only, right? And what is the deal with this toxic mist anyway? What is it causing it? Where does it come from? Toxic mist isn't just a thing that happens, you know. Explain your contrived show-stretching bullshit if you want us to buy it. I mean, you've spent how many hours detailing the bibble-babble history of the water spirit 2 and 3 times over? But you somehow had 0 seconds to explain a lethal weather event that has single-handedly perpetuated the majority of the show's runtime? Unacceptable!
Shuga spends half an eternity double expositing about the spirit world, the Yaku people, and how the drought isn't really caused by the water spirit, but the spirit can fix it, blah, 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 blah. We already know this shit. You know how to get around this? You have Shuga say, "Let me explain," then you cut to some time later, indicated by a panoramic shot of sunset or nighttime, and we can presume that he explained the situation to them without wasting all of this time.
Unless we're small children. Obviously then, we'd be too stupid to realize they said anything. Obviously. Well, I'm out of patience. The Emperor reopens the Shuga murder case, or something. We cut to an unspecified amount of time later where the ninja men have fooled Buckhole into thinking they're real customers. In all fairness, though, just look at the oaf. He'd probably get fooled by an oddly shaped rock.
They steal his logbook after Tanda stops by and determine the location of the watermill. They then start closing in on it as the episode ends. Yeah, Chagum's just starting to enjoy life as a commoner, and now it's going to be taken away from him. Whatever, who cares?
I need a nap.
Oh, man, me too.
Not together, though.
No, of course not.
Oh.
I mean, we could if you want.
No, not this again. No more. We are going to get so many homophobia complaints from these people. Jesus.
Yeah. What a bunch of bangers.